leopard like him, the king of the stadium. Big thing, big leopard jump out and whole big show and all of that.
At the start, he was running and he was doing a lot of antics before the race.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
and then
after
the year the man come talk about that
why are we seeing all of this?
Welcome to the Sports Globe YouTube channel. Thank you very much, YouTubers, for joining us on this another program here with myself and Orion Brown. And we're just going to dive straight down into it. So much things that happened today in the Olympics, Orion. And just want to thank you so much, Orion, for even being here.
A lot.
As well, you know, a lot have happened today in the Olympics.
Not a problem, bro.
Hey, listen, man.
Yeah, a lot. Some of it looked very weird to me, but
yeah,
I guess.
Tell me some of the weird things. Some of the things that look weird. Tell me some of the things that look weird to you.
Well, there's a particular 200-meter race.
Yeah.
Somebody lost, and then afterwards we hear asthma attack or we hear COVID and all this.
I mean, Noah lost. Like, come third. Him not even come second, you know. Him come third, Orion. Can you believe that? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what fascinating about the whole thing. And I'm gonna make it short. Is the man jump out on the track like a leopard, like him, the king of the stadium. Big thing, big leopard jump out and whole big show and all of that.
At the start, he was running and he was doing a lot of antics before the race.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
And then the year the man come talk about that sick
why are we seeing all of this?
Garbage. Noel lies. Noah lies. That's the whole thing. Lies. Yeah, man. Him get beaten. Because as a matter of fact, Benerick did a complaint. So, boy, all them are giving preferred lane and them are giving multiple special treatment and all them kind of things. This time one team complain. Yeah, so big thing. No, so I'm gonna just label it because we're gonna deal with it later on. Noah lies. Tobago, big congratulations to you. You know, national African champion, African national record. You know, and that's pretty awesome. Benerick run 1962 and he run 1946, the fifth fastest 200 meters of all time. I forgive the man big congratulations. Yeah. The man hold him farm and got
big credit.
Well, yeah, man.
Well, I from what I saw in the semi-final from Tobago, you know, he looked good, and I thought that he could have won the final. You know, I was still looking to see what would happen, but it was obvious based on how he ran in the semi-final that he could have gone faster, and Noel was trying to get at him. He was able to hold him off there. And if you looked in this particular final, he actually slowed down also, and then he beat him chest like Bolt. In that 9.55.
I whole people say
he did that in the final.
To the king of the thing. But I think that I want to say that, you know, a whole lot of people out there talk about Noah, fastest man, the fastest man in the world. Hey, you can't be the fastest man in the world and the man them were faster than you still alive and kicking. You saying about them still about they're the fastest people in the world.
No.
I don't want to say boy no, him is the fastest man around now.
I don't agree with that.
The man not the fastest man. Right now he's not. Because guess what happened? In the run 977 this year. So I don't know how people are saying I'm the fastest man. Right now Tobago run faster 200 than him ever run. Because fastest he had run, I think is 953 or something like that. So how him can be the fastest man? People just label out the thing. And them not understand what's going on. Them just drop down name on people just so. People are run faster than the guy.
Yeah, but I get too much into that still. But
yeah, anyway.
But what I'm saying is that
bigger thing I take
place. The reason why I'm saying that still because right now he, you know,
he's not the fastest man.
Fast, and he has the 100 meter. Yeah, man, but he has a title. He has the 100-meter
title. He can't have
title,
the
and he had the
title, and him
title
not the
from
fastest. Him
World
do have the
Championship.
fastest time this year, and right now.
Yeah, well, I hear, I
Yeah,
hear you, but
Trump
him
have
win
the
though.
fastest time in the 100.
Well,
Tobago have the fastest time in the 200. So here what? Him no fastest man, nothing. Him need to come again. Wheel up and
all
come.
right.
Anyway,
So
but McLaughlin,
yeah,
Olympic,
but
Olympic
also
gold
anybody
medal.
that retires still can't get brought into the fastest man thing still.
Nah, man.
Just say,
Label,
and
man.
people
If
who
you're the
compete.
fastest man
Yeah,
ever, you're the
go on.
fastest man right now until somebody take you off of the throne. You can't be the king of the and somebody out there say me a king and the king still alive. Oh, it forgot. And you still wear the crown. You can't be that.
No, but that no man, yeah man, but
Anyway,
look at the
guys,
world
come
record.
again.
And
Come
there's
again
certain world
live. That's
records
what the
that
whole
can't be
thing is.
touched, man.
Yeah.
But you know that that person is the fastest person in the world, right?
Not
There's certain
no.
records that can't be
No.
touched. You know?
He's not the I mean the record can be touched. No, so you're saying record can be beaten.
So,
So
no, some of them
overrun,
haven't been. All right,
but
some
it
of them
has
haven't.
not
All right, some of them
been.
haven't been touched for years
Not
upon years. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, Sydney McLaughlin. What do you think of her? Olympic
Sydney
record
McLaughlin.
50.37. 400 meters hurdles
Yeah,
today.
well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Good
Alright.
race, good
The
race.
time that she run, a lot of athletes running the flat 400. A lot of women running the flat 400. Can't do that. That's how
Okay.
she bad.
Well, that's true.
She bad. That girl is bad. And she brought the world record about 3 or 4 times already. So, hey, listen, congratulations to McLaughlin. You know, and our girl, Rochelle Clayton, yeah, she come forth. I think she run her personal best too. So, you know, I have to give her a big kudos because she running a race where, you know, everybody are do them personal best. Because the American girl that came third, she run her personal best 51 something, I think too. So she did below 52 seconds, and below 52 seconds is a mark for, you know, saying that you're running that 400-meter female hurdles fast. You know, so yeah, so big congratulations today. But you know, Oren, last night we did a recording in regards to the whole thing of sponsorship, and you know that we're going to talk a bit of sports business. But just to throw this into the mix right now is that Usain Bolt. I saw a piece of article today. I think it came out in the Observer that said Usain Bolt unveiled his signature Puma branded or Puma sneakers. And it's just that we're talking about Noel Lyles saying that he wanted his own sneakers. And now to see this article this morning in regards to Usain having his own branded Puma sneakers. This is a street shoe. It's not a sneak, but it's a regular street shoe that Puma come out with for him, and it's a signature shoes for him. So you know, maybe some kind of trend that gonna start right now or something, or somebody say something and people are listening. So who knows? It was a good thing. So
Okay.
you know, there's big news going on with Thomas Dodd. I don't know where is it going and what is it taken, but you know, she's saying some things and she's not comfortable and she pretty much upset and she never get to make the finals because of issues that she have with her coach not being there or anything. But that's something that you guys can go check out in the news in regards to what's going on with that. But you know, athletes normally have their own little complaint and their own little issues and all that kind of thing. And you know, the associations need to figure it out and work it out and you know, and work that out. But my biggest thing for the day today, Orient, let me tell you what it was. And I basically couldn't believe. Biggest thing for the day today. Biggest thing for the day today. Maybe it's one of the things that I try to call away, man. Yeah. Biggest thing for the day today for us, for me, is hearing our national anthem play in the stadium for the first time when Stoner getting his gold medal. I don't know if this is going to be the first and the last time we hear it for this Olympics, you know. So because I do have much of a very optimistic in terms of more medals right now and where it's going to come from, you know, because there really is the men not making it to the 4x100 relay. Big disappointment for me. So that was my big disappointment, and my high moment was here in the national anthem play. Stoner getting him gold medal for the discus, an Olympic record too. Yeah, so that was it. That was it for me where the Olympics is concerned today. Hurdles, Broadbell getting the bronze medal again. 3,000s or 5,000 of a second them get beat by. I don't know why we can't get the nod over the American when we tie. I don't know. What big congratulations to Rashid Broadbell in getting the bronze medal and it's his first Olympic medal as well in the 110 meters hurdles. So share with us too, our YouTubers, in regards to your Olympic moment that you would have had, and let us know, what are your thoughts on a couple of these topics that we would have raised. But the Olympics seem to be going and going and going. Not just sure how much of us enjoying it, but some of us enjoying it, some of us not enjoying it. I just think that whole heap of issues down at Paris go on. Who knows? Anyway, let's get to the meat of the matter, Orion, and our major discussion this evening. And we're talking about sports club, sports business. The topic that we want to start with this evening and talk about this evening is sports and sports sponsorship. Of course, the athletics and the athletes have been talking about them getting more money and more attention and more sponsorship and bigger sponsorship packages, and a whole lot of discussion start to happen where especially athletics is concerned, and we just want to start to have a look at it. Of course, my brethren Orion is very much close to a whole lot of sponsorship deal. Orion, I wonder if you sign a $10 million. Send me a little $1 million check now. I feel nice. A little donation on the side would be okay, sponsor your brethren.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
Now, well, you know, in regards to sports, and for any athlete in terms of marketing is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And if you have made it and you're a big name, whosoever your handlers are, should look to leverage that. In regards to getting you, I know, whatever deals that can happen on the marketing side, whether it's for you to be the brand ambassador for that energy drink or a health drink, or it might be something that Noel has touched on in regards to having his own personal shoe, athletic shoe, not a running shoe, but a shoe that generally
Street
people wear.
clothes.
So yeah, it depends on what the plans are. It depends on how big of an athlete you are, and the brands, and making that connection to the brands. And it's also important also in terms of how that brand connect to you, and that synergy. So it all depends, but those deals should be a parcel to any athlete. Once they have a big enough brand for sponsors to be interested in.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this, and one another first question I'm going to throw out, Orion, is the whole thing. Looking at countries like Jamaica, right? And we can speak about Jamaica because we are close to that one. Because I would suspect that countries like Canada as well. There's when I look when I look at the Canadian national champion, the Grass, and the very little Canadian sponsorship that he seems to enjoy. When I watch TV here, I think it's only one company or two company that I see is putting their sponsorship money behind him as an Olympic, medalist, and has been there for quite a number of years, holding up the Canadian barrier at all. So why is it that athletes with such acclaim and such triumph, such names? Because when you talk about people like the Grass, let's even look at I'd want to say Johan Blake, right? That is right there behind Usain Bolt, but yet still a lot of companies in Jamaica, like the Grass, wasn't lining up behind him. There's a few company that when he won the world championship that came on board, um, but those sponsorship maybe last for a year or something like that, right? But there was no major sponsors. When I look at people like Shelly and Fraser, she got a few sponsors, but she was for years Olympic champion, world champion. She's been carrying the flag high. She has quite a bit of following outside of Jamaica. She's a big brand right around the Caribbean. She's a big brand in the track and field world, but she didn't enjoy a whole lot of major sponsorship outside of the international market. In the local
Yeah.
market, not too much.
But just to give some insight, like I worked on a few things for Jamaican athletes years ago in the Jamaican market in terms of linking them to brands that were looking promotion. And a lot of times it was actually hard work, specifically in regards to convincing the brands, no matter how big the athlete was, in terms of convincing the brands that this would be a good fit.
Mhm.
I think gradually, based on the success that we have had at the Olympics, more and more brands, big brands, could be the banks,
Mhm.
it could be a local manufacturing company, it could be a health drink, or they are now looking to align themselves with those athletes as long as they're doing well and they've done something on the circuit for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Um, what I would say for each individual athlete, there has to be some level of work that's been done by their representatives on that side in terms of the marketing side. A
Mhm.
lot of times, athlete makes it and they're running on the circuit, etc., and their managers are okay with the general business because that's the general business. The marketing is the side business, right?
Mhm.
So, which means that if they're running and they're on the circuit, even in track and field, and they're competing, their fees, agent fees that come out of that, and a lot of times that's the business. That's how they get paid. That's how they earn a living generally. So they normally just stick to that. No, oh, so it unless there's some huge push, from somebody in that person's team to speak to certain brands, or those particular brands might see the athlete and reach out. Then that's how you have a lot of these actually happen. But
Mhm.
it's hard work, and it's generally seen somewhat as a side business in terms of making that connection, especially at the level of where our Jamaican athletes are at,
Yeah.
in terms of whoever managing them, and what the business is. They normally just stick to that, and it happens in other countries also with the same thing in
Oh,
terms of
so you're saying
that connection.
the
Um,
athletes are really not putting their business together with having a management structure around them
a lot of time
with a marketing strategist to
with,
go out
with,
and present them in front of different brands and that kind of thing. So I think that's a failure on the athlete's part.
with yeah, yes, a lot of times, yeah, because even like a lot of athletes that I work with personally in Jamaica, I had to reach out to them personally and say, listen, you're a big athlete, I can try and align you with a brand. And it's
Yes.
something that I worked on for a while, where I would try to put brands with athletes.
Was it
So
was it
so
was it
gradually,
something
if you're a
was
big
it
athlete,
something was it something that they were thinking about but just never have the know how to get a manager or to get an
I,
agent? Or is that
well,
just
and I
wasn't
said they have a
that at
no.
all?
I so
Never
let, let me
go and make
let, let,
straight
me-
track
let me
and
put it
field
into
money.
context. So, so as I said, we're talking about track. So
Yeah.
we can get into other sports, and I can, because every sport is different.
Yeah, but let's just deal
But
with track tonight.
at the time yeah, so at that time they would have their agents who book for them to compete on the circuit, right?
Yeah.
So that's a different guy, or they do that. They might have somebody else that does some level of marketing for them, and they might have some legal persons. But what I'm saying is that there's a money trail already of how this athlete makes money and how those persons get paid, right? So everybody in that lane is okay.
It's comfortable.
Now, in a general agency business, right? Um, that needs to be a part of the business in terms of managing a track athlete or a footballer, whosoever,
Yeah.
right? So when a athlete is at a particular level, that has to come into it where you try to align them with a particular brand, for it to be successful for everybody involved. So a lot of time, but from a Jamaican perspective, I don't think that's developed enough. And you've seen in recent times a few people go into that who have probably done some work before in marketing, and they're like, okay, I I can then connect
Yeah. They're
this particular
connecting brands
athlete
to
with a
athletes
brand
and stuff like that.
for
Yeah.
a particular
Few of those
for
are
a
happening.
particular event or for a particular, yeah, or
Yeah.
for a particular thing. So yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it's an open market, especially for Jamaican athletes, in terms of making that connection. But also, the brands have to want to do it. So and that's also important.
Yeah. But are you getting the sense that brands want to work with these athletes, but maybe they just never get the opportunity, or they were never approached, or what's the
But
conversation?
in answering you, because I think I skip a question that you asked. No, in certain circumstances before, with certain athletes, they might have been an approach. They might have been approached to somebody else, and it didn't work out. No, obviously you need somebody else to make sure that that synergy can happen between the athlete and the brand.
Yes.
So in some cases that can happen, where yeah, the brand might want to do the deal, but they're speaking to the wrong person, that type of thing, or they approach the athlete, or it might not be enough money. There are different reasons. Yeah.
Because let me just put this out there. Recently I was able to see, or there's a particular US athlete, 200 meters star, big star, because he was one of those athletes that was, beating Usain Bolt from junior years and coming up into the senior rank when Usain Bolt really started to take over, right? But since this Olympics, I have seen a couple of interviews with him, and I've seen a couple of, I think, marketing stuff that he was doing for US Olympics. Um, but when I hear him speak about what he's doing now, he's a part of, you know, the department of he's a police in one of those states, right? And I don't know if it is by
Okay.
choice that he went into the force, or it is because of the need for funding, or for money, or for his
Income.
economic, for income,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That he had to go, and this was an Olympic World Championship star, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and he had to get into the force to secure a job after putting in so much work into it. And when it comes to a lot of the Jamaican
Well,
athletes, I've seen even people retire, and after they retire, there was nothing, and so I know for other sports,
yeah.
sponsorship will play a big part of their income, and their retirement package, right? But I tend to see a whole lot of Jamaican athletes um, have to go and find other little things to do after spending so much years into a sport, and just becomes nothing. You just have a gold medal, or you have a silver medal, or an Olympic medal, um, that just hanging
Yeah.
in a room,
So
and it's pretty much nothing.
yeah. So what I would say to that, like, at that point when they're at a level, they need somebody that can bridge that gap between them and the sponsor to make something
Mhm.
happen. And not all the time, especially in track, in terms of the management. Normally, it's either a family member or somebody they grew up with. So it's, and the bottom line is that somebody that they've been close with for a time that manage certain stuff for them. So you need that level of expertise in terms of marketing that can get to speak to a brand or marketing manager to make that connection.
Yeah.
And not all the time after these athletes have made it, they have that, or even them think about that. Maybe them, a lot of them just think, oh, I'm a big athlete, so if a brand want me, they're just gonna come. But
Yeah.
a lot of
It
times
doesn't work
that's not
like
how
that.
the business work.
Yeah.
You have to, yeah, you have to put yourself out there. You have to approach these brands and tell them what you can offer to a
Yeah.
certain extent. Maybe you might approach like two or three and
Mm.
another one here that and they come. But you have to do some level of work on it also,
Yeah.
than
But
just
comparing track
say,
and field to like let's say the NBA players, right? A superstar in the NBA, as soon as he get is before him even leave high school
well,
or college, sponsors are pretty much there knocking on his door. So you're
well,
saying to me that
well
for track
I
and field, you becoming a world champion or Olympic
no
champion,
track.
you don't have sponsors knocking on your door and say, "Hey, listen, we want to do something with you because we realize your brand as an athlete, and we want to align our brand with you as an athlete, just like the NBA
Well,
players."
I so I will break it down. But like for example, recently I saw like a Jamaican female athlete that went and did a lot of things on the circuit and at the Olympics, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And a big company in Jamaica scoop her up. And I've seen that over the last 4 to 5 years that's happening. If we're speaking from a Jamaican perspective. Now, if you're a big global star, right? Um, yes, I'm sure depending on where you live, right? If you're in Canada, if you're in the United States, there will be brands that can leverage that mileage to for marketing wise and do something. But it all depends on the situation.
Yeah, but as I say, Orion, an Olympic athlete, famous Olympic athlete,
Yes.
was top for the US, right? And he had to become a police officer. As I said, I don't know if it is by choice.
Well, I don't.
What I
Maybe he
know,
wanted to become a police officer later on,
what I know,
but but
he
but
never
but,
had he never had lots of he never had lots of sponsorship. Let alone maybe he only had his clothing sponsorship or his clothing that he used for performance and stuff like that. That is
like
common with track athletes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
yeah,
outside of
but
that, there is no
yeah.
brand
So
that's lining up for track athletes at all.
yeah, well, still, track is still a small sport, even in the states.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I'm saying, everything is different. I understand what you're saying about that particular person. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but even so, um, with them, right, it would have to be a
I'm really talking
situation
about
where
Wallace
if they're
Spearman,
at a particular level,
Really talking about Wallace
they
Spearman.
have okay, well, they
Yeah.
have a particular they have to have some added marketing to it. Normally, when a track athlete is big, the first important thing that they'll get is their spike or shoe contract. Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
Nike or Adidas, whatever, and that normally pays them decent amount of money, and a lot of them are okay with that. Obviously, them have their appearance fees for events, etc. So they're making money off that. So they're making money now. If they're a big enough star, right, and they have an agent and they work with their agent, the agent should also look at other marketing deals. But what I'm saying, it there has to be a strategy behind that. If there's no strategy, right, then everybody's gonna continue in the same mold because people are getting paid a particular way. So overall, all right, there has to be a strategy, I have to link it to other sports because I do a lot of football stuff now in terms I'm a football agent,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously I manage players all over the world.
Yeah.
But importantly, when there has to be a strategy for any footballer in order to also maximize not just their earnings from a contract with a club, but also marketing wise when you look at it in terms of what you can get them. But as an agency, in terms of how my company operates, that has to be a plan, right? And I can't speak specifically in regard to certain athletes and who they were assigned to and what their
Yeah.
strategic plan was overall, because I think that would have something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, we need to talk a lot more about this, Orion, because And sometimes we need to get down into specific, but because one of the things that is plaguing track and field as a sport is the athletes are not making any money. If you're not at a certain level, like if you're not in the top five, at least in the top
Well, I,
five,
I, I
or,
know
or
that.
even or even the
I
top
can give
eight,
you. I
because the
can.
top the top eight get a little window, right? But at least the top
Yeah.
five
Yeah.
are the
Well.
ones who really get some money and make some money from even going to
Yeah.
different
No. Well.
different diamond leagues and stuff like that. They're the ones who really make some money. So you have a lot of athletes who are there competing
Yeah.
in said Olympics, and they're really not making anything. And of course, you hear a lot of them talking about countries need to do more for athletes and all of that. This is because they're not getting that sponsorship arrangement at all. They're not seeing none of that kind of money happening at all, at all. So as you said, maybe it is that they need to start focusing on their brand and their brand as a business, and try to get their brand aligned with,
Well.
with other brands, and get
They,
that team around them
yeah.
going.
Yeah. They need to align themselves with a marketing agency or
Mhm.
agency that has the ability to strategically build a plan for them to connect with sponsors. That's
Yeah,
what it comes down to.
that's what it comes down to. All right,
Yeah.
so I
Um.
guess
That's what it comes down to.
I guess we're going to leave it there for today, and look forward to some further the discussion where we can get down into some dollars and cents and looking at
I
what track athletes making.
sure. No,
Are they making any money off the circuit any at
yeah.
all? Yeah.
I just I just want to say one thing. I did this deal years ago, and this particular deal for a track and field deal, and I guess later on we did another deal, but it was important in regards to what the money was on the circuit, even compared to a football pro contract in the MLS, chalk to cheese.
Mhm.
So so
So
I know what the dynamics
track
are,
money is nothing,
especially
nothing
yeah.
compared to other sports out there. Even though track and field, when you look at the viewership, and I'm going to tell you, YouTubers are going to present the viewership for this Olympics for the 100-meter finals, what kind of viewership numbers it has. For the 200-meter finals, what kind of viewership it has, because it has been significant viewership. But who is making that money from these things? Let's look at that. And let's go back and look at what Usain Bolt 100-meter viewership was for the network that had it, and what the broadcast rights was for those times compared to this times, compared to even before those times. Let's look at what those are to see who is making what, right? And see how much money has been made in athletics from the organizers of athletics event, and what are they paying out to these athletes who's
Yeah,
really earned to, you know
yeah, Richard, I know you're on that point, but
yeah.
we still need to make the differentiation. We're talking about a professional league versus going out and representing your country. But I
Well, I
understand your
don't
point.
know. I'm just thinking track and field is getting at a professional level right now, and that's why we're having the discussion now. Because before we
Well,
couldn't have the discussion because
it is on the
it
circuit,
was an
but
amateur
on the diamond league,
sport.
yeah, man. But yeah, what I'm saying on Diamond League, there's good money in the Diamond League if you're a particular level and you can demand what you want. So I'm saying, I guess is the economics of everything. You demand what you think you value, and if the organizers can pay that, they pay that.
In the professional setting.
So yeah,
I guess
but
I guess athletes need to be
yeah,
start looking
I guess
looking
yeah,
at that looking at that then, because just like how you have the World Cup, the footballers don't really get the big money from the World Cup, but when they play for the different leagues around the world, that's where they make a significant amount of their
yeah,
money.
that's where the money come in,
And so maybe the
and that's what I'm
Diamond
saying.
League, maybe the
That's
Diamond League
the
is
money.
yeah, is what need to step up.
That's where the money is.
Yeah,
That no man, they that's where the money is. So if you
yeah,
can demand what fee you want based on how hot you are,
yeah.
and so you can make decent money. But what I'm saying, if there are, just like with everything, you have small meets all across Europe, etc.
Mm.
It's not like if you're developing and if you're not a huge star, it won't be a lot of money. Well, it would be decent money if you're talking compared to
Yeah,
Jamaica, but globally, it wouldn't be an Olympic.
Yeah. We need to start looking after. I
So
think
I guess
track and field is very much a professional sport right now. All aspects of it, very much a professional sport, and we really need to start having a discussion in terms of where the money is going to come from to ensure that the professionalism about it and what they are requiring athletes to be, professional about, that they are being paid and paid good, and not just the few who break the world record or who reach the finals of an event. It must trickle down all the way down to, to athletes that is part of the performance and part of the show. Because in any event at any one of these track and field meets, it takes at least 8 people to put on the show, right? And for 8 people to put on the show, 8 people has to be paid and to be paid good too. Because I can tell you, if you right now put together 8 100-meter male and female athletes and say that you're going to have a meet, the viewership is going to be huge. Right now, as we speak, if you get the top athletes and put them in any meet anywhere around the world, the viewership, right, the sponsorship money that is going to roll into the producers of this event is going to be big. So, athletes need to themselves, as you say, Orion, they need to start organize themselves in that kind of a way and putting themselves out there in that kind of a way and realize the brand that they are and the brand that they have and start to market and sell that, and start put themselves out there in the world. So, for further discussion, I like the discussion, Orion, and I like where it's going. We can start get down into some more details, but as I said, I want our YouTube fans and family and friends, to send us what you think about track and field. Start to make more money. Start to get more involved into money, into sponsorship, into people need to get rich out of track and field. It is there. People need to get rich out of track and field. You can't be an Olympic champion and then 5 years down the road, you have to find a job because you have to feed your kids, you have to feed your family. Can't be that. You can't be an Olympic champion and then you have to find a 9 to 5. How can that be? Not possible. It should not be this time and age. Can't be. None at all. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Thanks so much, Orion, for that insight. And we're going to continue on a Thursday with sports business and look at many different aspects of it. So, keep liking our page, keep sharing our page, and keep following us on a Thursday for sports business. And we'll talk about all aspects of sports business because sports is big money, and we know that. And for athletics, I think it needs to grow, and the athletes need to get involved. Thank you so much again, our YouTube family. Orion, appreciate it. So we'll talk some more, and we'll just keep talking until the thing go on. All right, so that's it for tonight. All the best, and all the best to the athletes performing tomorrow in their respective events, and best of luck to all the athletes right around the world, wherever you are and whoever you're performing. But big congratulations to the JFF again before we go, Orion, in regards to their new coach and their new signing of their new English coach.
Yeah, Steve McLaren is here.
Steve McLaren is very much in Jamaica and is very much talking a big talk about the 2026 World Cup. He has 18 months to get the thing together and to get the team qualified, and he's very much on top of that. He's saying the reason why he came to Jamaica is because of World Cup, and he wants the players to understand that this is a big deal, a huge deal, and of course, World Cup is a huge deal. We know that, but he's selling a product right now to all Jamaican players anywhere around the world to come on board and to buy into the dream of qualifying for the next World Cup. I like it.
Yeah, all right. Let's be positive. Right. Yes, I like
Thanks so much again. Until you hear us from us again. Appreciate it. YouTube family.